We're going to be making barbecued pulled pork, and this recipe is completely done in this crock pot. We don't need to use the grill, we don't need to use the stove or the oven. We're going to start with a pork shoulder roast or a butt roast. I'm using a bone-in roast, and this one is just slightly under 5 pounds. You want to roast somewhere around 4 to 5 pounds. A little smaller is okay, a little bigger is okay, as long as it fits in your crock pot. This is so simple and easy. We're going to start with just a little bit of salt, about a teaspoon of salt, and we're just going to sprinkle it right over the roast, and then freshly ground black pepper. Flip this over, a little bit more on the other side. I don't add a ton of seasoning because I'm going to let the barbecue sauce that we add later add most of the seasoning here. This goes right into my crock pot. I like to use the fat side up. Now for the secret ingredient, we use a beer. You want any kind of light tasting beer. We don't want to taste the beer here, but the beer helps the pork cook and adds a little bit of acid, which helps tenderize it as well. We're not going to add the full beer. We add about a cup of the beer. If you didn't want to use beer, you could use water, but it doesn't have a lot of flavor with it. You could also use a chicken broth or apple juice. The lid goes on. I'm going to turn this on to low, and we're just going to let it cook for 6 to 8 hours until this roast is fall apart tender. We'll come back and check it then. Our pork should be fully cooked by now, and we're going to test it by taking our tongs and just seeing what this meat does. And just look at how easily this pulls up. That tells me that this meat is fully cooked. It's fall apart tender. Just look at what happens when I pull this out. If it doesn't do that, it needs to cook longer. Okay, we're going to take this out, and I'm going to use a metal spatula and my tongs to see if I can try to get it out. All the liquid and fat that's in here I'm going to discard. All right, so what I'm going to do now is remove any pieces of fat or connective tissue that aren't the most appetizing, and I'm just going to break this into some pieces. Here's another great sign that this is so perfectly cooked. There is nothing left on that bone. It just comes right off. Okay, all of this meat just goes right back into our crock pot. I have all of my pork back inside this crock pot, just in some nice big chunks. Make it whatever size you want. And I'm going to add barbecue sauce to this. I have about a cup of barbecue sauce. I'm going to start with half of it and just toss it in here to mix it around so that everything is well coated. The beauty about this recipe is you can use any kind of barbecue sauce that you like. Use your favorite brand from the store, make up a batch at home, whatever you like, it works. Right, this is exactly how I like it. I've added about 2 cups altogether of the barbecue sauce. Add as much or as little as you like. Another great tip is to put just the minimal amount on here and then serve extra barbecue sauce on the side. Some people like it saucier and some people don't, and that way you can please everybody. Turn this back on high this time so that this can get reheated, and it'll take about 30 minutes and then we'll be ready for dinner. All right, I think this is ready. Makes such a great dinner. I like to serve these on, I'm going to use some leftover sourdough rolls that we had from this weekend. Hamburger buns work, ciabatta rolls, whatever you like. And place a pile right on top. That's a tall one. And you've got to sand me. This is one of my favorite meals. And if you have any leftovers, it freezes really well. Just let it cool, throw it in a container in the freezer, and then when you're ready to use it, pull it out and thaw it. You might need to add a little bit more barbecue sauce when you heat it up, but that's all up to you. This is one that will be on repeat. Enjoy!